A sense of unease built on sparse, eerie music defines the opening and establishes the atmosphere immediately. Safran reflects that the Conjuring franchise has always emphasized suspense and tension over graphic violence. Ticking and creaking sounds quietly ratchet up the atmosphere, gradually escalating to moments where the tension becomes almost unbearable. Screams pierce the mounting silence. The filmmakers acknowledge the challenge in producing new, inventive scares for each installment, scares that audiences have not come to expect. Director Michael Chavez contemplates how to deliver the darkest chapter the series has seen, and considers what creative choices would achieve that effect. With The Last Rites, the creative team aims for a climactic conclusion, seeking to outdo the previous films. Michael Chavez recalls his initial experience watching the first Conjuring film in theaters. It left a profound impact, inspiring and intimidating him as an aspiring creator of haunted house movies. He regards the original film, citing its legendary scares, such as the clap game and the basement scene, as a benchmark rarely matched elsewhere. James Wan's mastery in constructing such moments is highlighted, with particular mention of the basement match scene and the unforgettable hide-and-clap game. The sequels are known for memorable sequences, including the 13-beat study scene in Conjuring 2, which ratchets up the intensity until the infamous nun emerges from the painting. Practical scares and aesthetically crafted suspense have been constants throughout the franchise, demonstrating a keen understanding of horror filmmaking and pacing. Constructing cinematic horror set pieces, the filmmakers eschew formula, opting instead for an improvisational approach, walking the sets and mentally staging scenes to cultivate a unique dread. Discovery is central to the genre, with actors often contributing to the process by instilling authenticity that amplifies chills. Key creative influences from James Wan are remembered and analyzed, the director's choices in camera framing and shot intention serving as a masterclass for newer team members. Progressing through each new film demands fresh scares and innovative set pieces. The production team acknowledges the increasing difficulty of maintaining originality as the franchise expands, requiring a deeper dive into the bag of tricks. Actors add layers of horror by bringing their own interpretations and discoveries to the material. A moment is deemed remarkable when it provokes genuine chills, resonance considered a sign of superior horror. James Wan's influence pervades the films, elevating The Conjuring to its iconic status as a supernatural thriller. The creative energy and signature ideas Wan infused into the first installment propel the series towards its subsequent chapters, establishing a foundation of atmospheric tension and innovative scares that define the franchise. Michael Chavez insists that scares are central to horror cinema, emphasizing the power of the unexpected. Each film strives to present visually distinct and surprising moments that catch viewers off guard. James Wan, now in a guiding role, observes Chavez's contributions, noting how Chavez's familiarity with the universe's characters and his focus on scene design mark his growth as a filmmaker. Chavez recalls the restaurant dinner scene, one that reliably unsettles audiences. In this scene, Judy struggles with her supernatural abilities, creating tension that appears resolved, only to be punctuated by a chilling reveal, a ghostly hand on Judy's shoulder that elicits gasps from viewers. The team credits the effectiveness of hiding frights in plain sight, a technique that routinely jolts audiences. Safran reflects on the difficulty of succeeding James Wan, whose blend of emotional depth and horror craft sets a formidable standard. Chavez draws inspiration from Wan's style, but brings his own distinct sensibilities to the project, both visually and narratively. Intent on recapturing the original film's texture, color, and dynamic cinematography, Chavez introduces classic developing zooms in homage to The Conjuring and other genre films, such as Invasion of the Body Snatchers and Poltergeist. The production employs vintage Panavision anamorphic lenses, the same ones used on several prominent sci-fi and horror films, to enhance visual authenticity and imbue the film with cinematic history. Artifacts and relics become thematically central, both within the story's diegesis and in the technical filmmaking approach. The aged lenses themselves are viewed as relics, connecting the current production to generations of filmmakers. Father Gordon's character receives special attention, given his long-standing presence. For the grand finale, the filmmakers decide to kill off Gordon, a choice meant to drive the narrative forward and heighten emotional stakes. His loss delivers a dramatic, sacrificial moment that reveals the demon's intent while deepening Judy's involvement in the storyline. A pivotal scene unfolds in the mirror room, where Judy experiences direct physical contact with the supernatural entity, leaving her physically marked and terrified. This event is portrayed as a significant turning point. The horror transcends mere vision and becomes tangible, culminating in a shock sequence featuring Father Gordon's chilling demise. The resonance of scares hinges upon audience investment in the story's characters. For the concluding chapter, the stakes are heightened with real losses and emotional costs, challenging viewers to reckon with the consequences of supernatural conflict. Gordon's death is recognized as a gut-wrenching moment, establishing palpable consequences that lend weight and authenticity to the narrative's conclusion. Eerie music sets the tone as the camera drifts through a room filled with unique objects, each one representing a piece of an unfolding story. The atmosphere is tense, further emphasized by haunting female vocals. These items collectively narrate the character's life's work, symbolizing years of dedication and shared experiences. James Wan reflects on The Conjuring Last Rites, describing it as the end of an era for him. He expresses bittersweet emotions, noting how the series has created a strong sense of family among the cast, particularly between Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson. The close-knit dynamic has made the production process deeply enjoyable for everyone involved. Producer Peter Safran attributes the franchise's appeal to viewers' affection for the characters Ed and Lorraine, as portrayed by Patrick and Vera. The audience remains engaged, always eager to join the duo on their next adventure. Viewers are drawn to the enduring relationship at the story's heart, which encapsulates love, heroism, and self-sacrifice. Through their portrayal, the characters demonstrate that by embracing compassion and leveraging special talents, anyone can contribute to making the world kinder and more loving. The narrative's dark themes are frequently counterbalanced by moments highlighting the strength of their bond and the virtues they exemplify. Patrick Wilson discusses how the character's journey stands in contrast to the surrounding darkness of the stories. As each case unfolds, and while families face significant drama and turmoil, the relationship at the center of the narrative remains solid. This interplay strengthens the storytelling, blending levity, love, and humor even amid tension and peril. Vera Farmiga's involvement is spotlighted, with James Wan sharing how her passion for the project elevated the films. Michael Chavs remarks on her rare ability to perform intense screams on cue, and cast and crew praise her expressive looks, which add a powerful visual dimension to key scenes. Caitlin Foy recalls filming the first Conjuring movie, describing the stark contrast between the on-set camaraderie and the film's frightening narrative. The set was a place full of joy and warmth, shaped by the kindness and wit of Vera and Patrick. This lighthearted atmosphere extended even during tense scenes, with cast members often sharing laughs between takes. Lauren Tomlinson describes her initial expectation of constant fear on a horror movie set, only to find a vibe that was closer to a comedy, with a joyful spirit largely fostered by Vera and Patrick's vibrant personalities. The ensemble cast appreciated the sharp humor and friendly banter that characterized their interactions. Vera reflects on specific filming challenges, such as the memorable ocular close-up scene in which she had to keep her eyes open for extended periods despite discomfort from prior LASIK surgery. The behind-the-scenes camaraderie shines through as cast and crew collaborate closely, sometimes coping with personal challenges, yet always focused on the task at hand. Discussion shifts to the celebratory atmosphere of the series' conclusion. The production team saw the final installment as a chance to bring the entire cast and crew together, not only to celebrate a wedding in the story, but also to mark years of collaboration with a grand reunion. Both cast and crew liken this gathering to a school reunion, where familiar faces reconnect easily despite time apart. The excitement of reuniting with colleagues is palpable, with many expressing deep gratitude for the shared journey and the memories they have built together. Over the years, Vera and Patrick's performances have been central to the franchise's identity. Their chemistry and gravitas are credited with establishing the foundation of the Conjuring universe, elevating each installment and anchoring the series emotionally. As the perspectives return to the film's world, the emotional stakes are reaffirmed. Each case stands apart, each family's ordeal is unique, but fear remains constant. The central figures offer solace and companionship to those they encounter, reinforcing the underlying theme of empathy and support. In closing, the key contributors express immense gratitude and pride for what the franchise has achieved. The experiences, relationships, and accomplishments are cherished, marking The Conjuring as an extraordinary chapter in their collective careers. Safran reflects that the standard for theatrical movies has risen over the past decade and believes that a successful film must both comment on the human condition and move audiences emotionally through fear and tears. Chavez, portrayed as a passionate horror nerd, brings an encyclopedic knowledge of horror cinema to the set, and those around him warmly appreciate his enthusiasm for the genre. The crew is shown in the midst of production, repeatedly reminding themselves that they are making a movie, emphasizing their shared love for filmmaking and their gratitude for the opportunity to work in an industry they genuinely care about. Safran explains that the supernatural stories depicted feel real to him, especially after spending time with the families who experienced them and hearing their unwavering conviction. For these people, the events are not fabricated but absolutely real, reinforcing their belief that there are forces and phenomena beyond ordinary human awareness or understanding. This sense of authenticity and unseen reality underpins the atmosphere of eerie stillness and creeping dread that the production seeks to capture. One of the speakers describes having been a complete skeptic despite a Catholic upbringing, doubting that such paranormal interactions could truly exist until the events surrounding this movie changed that perspective. The shift in belief came partly from conversations with the Smurl family, whose detailed and deeply felt account of their experiences was powerful enough to transform skepticism into genuine belief. Their case, used as the final story for Last Rites, was also the first Warren case this person ever encountered, making it a cornerstone of the Warrens' legacy and a fitting capstone for the film's narrative exploration. The same speaker recounts staying with family in an old English house with no numbered address, only a name, located in an upscale neighborhood and historically used as lodging for vicars or English priests. During their stay, the speaker's young daughter believed she saw something unusual and captured a dark, indistinct image on her iPad that she insisted showed a priest-like figure with a white collar. However, the skeptical parent initially dismissed it as imagination or as a result of having just finished work on The Nun. Despite reassurance that nothing was there, the child remained convinced, planting the seed of unease in an otherwise rational mindset. One night, while alone in the house, the speaker hears disembodied voices and initially assumes there are intruders outside, prompting them to turn off lights and peer into reflective windows that now act like mirrors in the darkness. The voices, however, turn out to be coming from upstairs, leading the speaker to arm themselves with a fireplace tool and cautiously search every room of the oddly angled, 3-story, Harry Potter-style house. Despite clearly hearing 2 male voices conversing, they find no one anywhere inside, and the voices eventually stop, leaving the speaker with a lasting belief in the paranormal and a determination to treat such subjects with great respect. On set, Chavez is seen calling for darkness and lights, underscoring his command of atmosphere and timing in creating scares. Safran describes how Chavez first impressed him with a short film that effectively showcased his ability to craft terrifying moments, which later became his informal audition to direct La Llorona. Over time, Chavez has grown from a scare specialist into a well-rounded filmmaker capable not only of orchestrating horror, but also of tapping into and enhancing the emotional core of the screenplays he directs, something Safran and Juan regard as rare and special. Juan expresses excitement about Chavez's evolution with each new film, highlighting the team's gratitude for his guidance on this project. A key challenge for the filmmakers is creating original scares, which Chavez tackles with dedicated thought and experimentation. He often appears tense, yet exhilarated, as he considers new ideas. For a crucial final shot involving a large mirror, Chavez suggests mounting it on a dolly to create a realistic effect, then removing the dolly in post-production. This approach ensures the mirror feels like an oncoming freight train, adding to the struggle of Patrick Wilson's character. Chavez notes that this intricate setup showcases the effort required to blend practical effects with supernatural elements. Juan reflects on the franchise's success and the desire to conclude this chapter. At the same time, audiences are still eager for more, acknowledging the possibility of returning to the series. For now, they are satisfied to let this story serve as a powerful goodbye, filled with eerie sounds and off-camera reactions as production wraps up.